Assalamu alaikum. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about letting go of your past, okay? A lot of us have experiences behind us that were not the greatest, and some of us have experiences behind us that were, and that's fine. There should be a mix in there, I hope. I hope it's not all bad. If it was all good, then that's awesome. Good for you. But for people who have a past full of regretful decisions and painful experiences, sometimes it is hard to release that so that we can move forward. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's a lot of people walking around just like that. And first off, I'm just going to say, obviously, I'm not like a licensed therapist or anything. So if you need help, please get the help that you need to do that. But in terms of moving forward with something, especially in terms of starting a business, things that people say hurt, okay? Words hurt, they affect people, they sink in, they might have you thinking a certain way about yourself. If you have somebody from your past who made you feel like, or directly just told you, over and over again that you're nothing special, there's something wrong with you, you're never going to be successful, you lack this, you lack that, you should be more like this, you should be more like that. Those things hurt, and sometimes if you hear it enough, it sinks in and you start to believe it. But hopefully those people are in your past, and they're in your past for a reason, Nobody else has the ability to tell you what you can do, okay? You are the only person who is in charge of how your life is going to play out. The cards are in your hands, right? I'm a Muslim, and from our faith, we believe that, I'm saying the word qadr in my head, but I'm trying to figure out how to say it in English, but that you have a fate, people, it's in Allah's hands, so to speak. God is the creator of the heavens and the universe. Nobody, no male, no female, if they're a person who is an authority figure in your life, they don't get to dictate how your life turns out. So don't allow those negative opinions and that bullying from whoever it was trip you up into thinking that you cannot move forward and be successful. And don't let your own decisions from the past trap you into believing that you cannot step out of those decisions that you made. All of us, I don't care who it is, all of us, everybody in life has done something that is like extremely heavy and regretful. We all have something that we wish that we could literally just erase from our past. But the reality is that we can't. It's there and it's not going anywhere, okay? All of our life's experiences and the things that we've learned, they're all bottled up into making us the people that we are. If there's any negativity from your past, that is a part of you. That's just what it is. But it doesn't have to be a part of you that keeps you from your greatness. Allow it to be a part that contributes to that. Because look, it's behind you and you're still standing. You're still here. Other people do not get to dictate how you feel about yourself, what you're capable of doing, and again, how your future is going to play out. The sooner in your life that you understand that, the better off you will be, okay? You have to let the past be the past, because it will always be your past. I don't care if you, like me, I was non-Muslim, now I'm Muslim. My past is my past and it's not going anywhere. I don't care if you were a saint and then you had some slip up. You have a past. Everybody has a past, and everybody has made decisions that they're not proud of and have done things that they wish they could just kind of go back and erase it and then move forward. But we cannot. So you cannot allow yourself and your mind to be stuck in that place and mess up your future. If whatever was in your past was something that you regretted, obviously it wasn't that great. So don't let it make your future not be great. It's unnecessary. It's like adding on to it. Just you gotta let it go. And even if you don't let it go, understand that it's not going anywhere. That's the big part. So many people walk around man, I wish I didn't do this. Man, I wish I wasn't in that relationship. Look at all these years this took off of my life. This took the best years of me. Or because I made that decision, now I have this thing that I have to live with for the rest of my life. Like, so many things. But the fact of the matter is, you can't change it. So whatever that decision that you made caused to happen in your life, whether it's something that you're still living with and that you're going to live with forever, that is what it is. That is your life. That is your story. You have to own it. You have to own the choices that you made back then. Whether it was a result of you being ignorant or young or just a different person and maybe you had a different personality. I don't care. Oh, well, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And now you're older, you're more mature, or you're just different. And you're like, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. It's good that you're better. You have some growth. But that still happened. And every day you move forward, it always happened. It's there. It's not going anywhere. So you have to understand that. I know I keep saying the same thing over and over, but it's because it's important. There are too many of us, especially, unfortunately, a lot of African Americans walking around with a lot of traumatic experiences. Just too many. But it doesn't mean that we have to treat the world like everybody owes us something. Doesn't mean we have to walk around being bitter. Doesn't mean we have to have an attitude for no reason. Doesn't mean we have to want to fight people for no reason. Doesn't mean we have to want to fight people every time we hear somebody say something negative that we don't like. Or every time somebody tells us that they don't like us. People are entitled to whatever it is that they want. They don't have to like you. They don't. And if they feel like they want to express that they don't like you, good for them. That doesn't have to affect you. Nothing has to affect you. Nothing has to make you react. You are in control of yourself. Doesn't matter what situation is going on. What matters is how you react to that situation. Okay? And if you want to be your best and your greatest, you got to be able to move forward without trying to hold everybody in the present and the future accountable for something that happened in the past. Something that they weren't even around for. Something that they have no clue of. Because that's the thing too. Some people are walking around damaged. They may or may not know that they're damaged. Then you walk into somebody else's life and you try to hold them accountable for somebody else's work. You can't treat people like that. You can't treat people like that and then expect some positive outcome. You have to address whatever it is that you have going on. If the result of those things that happened in the past are going to affect you and the people around you, and you have to be open and honest with people. And I know this kind of goes beyond the realm a little bit of entrepreneurship, but it's important because one of the things that I want to get into is not just talking to you about starting the business. It's a whole, it's your life, right? If you're starting a business and you're running a business, you're working in that business, it affects everything. It affects you. It affects your relationships. It affects how you treat people, how you take care of yourself. You have to think about everything as a whole, okay? Your health, your relationships, your family, all of it. So if you have things from your past that need to be dealt with, whether it's about your mindset or your behavior or your attitude, you got to put that in check. And it's not just me saying bury it and act like it didn't happen. That's why I said at the beginning, if it's something that needs to be addressed, go address it. Because it will get in the way of your future. If you were bullied a lot, let's say, as a child, let's say there was no physical abuse, but you were bullied, people were constantly making fun of you, maybe for your clothes. And now all of a sudden you have a store where you sell clothes. The second somebody says something negative about your clothes, how are you going to react? Are you going to treat them like they're those bullies, or are you going to go ahead and accept their criticism of your product? What are you going to do? Because everybody's not going to like your stuff. Everybody's not going to want to work with you. I had some lady, okay, so I was on LinkedIn, and where the professionals are, right? And I don't know, I was communicating with this lady that I didn't know, and I think it was potentially doing some work for her, I can't remember. And and I refer to her as love. Anybody who knows me knows that I say that a lot. I say that to people. It's just a thing. It's like a knee-jerk thing that I say. I don't even really think about it. And when she responded back to me, she was like, you shouldn't be using that word with people. We don't know each other. This is a term of endearment and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what? I told her to have a nice day, you know? I could have went off on her, and I could have been like, you know, obviously we don't know each other. Yeah. And you don't need to talk to people like that. Like, and it's not even necessary. Like, it just really wasn't even necessary. And I know there are some people who agree with her. I don't care. It might be true, but I don't care. When I do business, I'm myself. Like, it's not like I'm some poster and then I go behave like somebody else while I'm working. I am who I am. I talk how I talk, and that's just what it is. And I've had many clients that I've worked with, and most people that I've worked with have worked with me more than once. So obviously they don't care how I talk. The work will speak for itself. But if I was in, you know, a different state of mind, I would handle that differently. And then that would have reflected bad on my name, my brand, right? So I'm just saying different things will come up as you're in business, and depending on what you're carrying and how you are going to react to something, it may be good for you and it may be bad for you. So before you start all these new interactions with these new people, with all these new personalities, you have to understand who you are and understand that everything has its place and its respective place in time. And that you treat people based on each incident as you're dealing with each person, okay? I'm not gonna keep saying these same things over and over again, but when it comes down to it, you have to let the past be the past. And if you have an issue with that, you can get in contact with me, but I need you to understand that you have to understand that your past is a part of you. Anybody who comes into your life, they have to accept that. Because you can't be willing to walk around either lying or trying to pretend to be somebody else. It's going to get old really fast. You're going to get burned out. You're going to get irritated and aggravated and mad that you can't just be yourself, and you should be allowed to just be yourself. Nobody should be able to just hold something over your head and make you feel like you're the worst person in the world because of some decisions that you made. And if they're not okay with it, you have to be okay with them not being okay with it, and then just keep moving on to the next. New friendships, new relationships. Because you will always be who you are, and you have to love yourself first and accept yourself first. If there's somebody who doesn't want to accept that, they don't belong. They don't belong in your life. Because you're entitled to one. You're entitled to one. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Let the past be the past. Assalamu alaikum.